We got Louis C.K. in the studio. I saw Louis.
Yeah.
Oh, we talked about it the last time you were in at Carnegie Hall.
Yeah.
What an amazing show.
Thanks, man.
Just an amazing show. Yeah, it's perfect for
such
it.
a cool
Perfect for
place.
it.
It's the only place in Atlantic City that's...
It really is like Vegas, kind of. That it's got that Vegas vibe. It doesn't feel like I stayed in another hotel right on the boardwalk once, and it felt like I stepped into the 70s.
And it feels like you're in Atlantic City.
Yeah, you know you're in Atlantic City.
Right.
The
Borgata could trick you into thinking, man, I took a fucking flight to Vegas.
I went to Vegas.
That's exactly the difference, yeah.
There's some old diner waitress bringing the drinks at this other casino, bringing the drinks to the table, and you're just like, oh, and then you look at the Borgata babes and shit walking around, they're just stunning.
No, the other Atlantic City places, it's like you're faced with the economy you're hurting with everything you do. There's supposed to be more of a buffer there.
Yeah.
Where you can get lost in it. But Atlantic City, the dealer looks at you like, thanks for fucking up my hometown, asshole. Would you like another card? Like they just look depressed.
God damn, that is it.
You know?
Yeah.
My father owned a house, and now I live in a fucking shack.
Right.
So that you could play blackjack.
I hope you're having fun.
Yeah.
Oh, look, blackjack.
I would hit on that, yes.
You so see the corruption. All you have to do is just drive around a little bit, less than a mile from those beautiful casinos, and you realize they don't give a fuck about the local economy.
No, it's all being sucked out.
It's like,
I don't know where that money's going.
It's another kind of tick, but it's a remote. It's like it doesn't even spread nearby.
No.
It's like a scientific taking money. It's like a tick that has a long distance sucker.
Yeah, they must have helicopters at night that literally lift it
the
up
money
into
out
the sky
to make sure it does not touch
the local economy.
Anybody
and
there.
the politicians, they obviously just look the other way.
Yeah.
It's like you're not even going to throw $1 into the economy.
No.
Who are you talking about?
Yeah, who do you mean?
Yeah, what do you mean?
What
What are you
happened?
trying to say?
What
I'm trying to say.
Who you saying is doing this?
What? You're right.
Yeah, exactly.
We're already in a weird spot with Donald Rumsfeld.
I bet he knows where that money goes.
You know what? I think Atlantic City's beautiful.
Oh,
Every inch of it is
The
beautiful.
Borgata.
No,
it's fantastic. Go see Louis.
Jobs. They got
Yeah.
jobs.
They got
Jobs.
jobs everywhere. For
Jobs.
Jobs. You know how many people they employ?
Jobs.
There weren't those jobs when it was before the casinos. I don't know
No,
what
there
went
was
on
just
there.
a really kind of a nice area.
Steel Pier. What the hell happened?
Where someone could actually open a store and try to have a business instead of a job. But now they got jobs. They get to wear a vest and deal cards to fucking assholes and Gaddafis.
Yeah, Gaddafi.
They get to fucking...
great. Jobs.
You mean people used to open up their own family business down there?
Yeah,
Like
there used to be a-
bakery or
Right.
delicatessen.
Yeah, wherever the
Something like
fucking
that.
wherever the Trump down there is. Does he have one down there?
Oh, he's got
yeah, he
the
does.
Taj
Trump
and the Marina. I don't know how much.
Yeah,
he
Trump
actually
Marina
really owed.
sitting where some guy used to have an old fish restaurant. He had the restaurant from 1850 in his family, and now it's a fucking Trump Marina hotel.
It's right there on the
I
water.
worked that fucking place, or is the Trump Castle? It was called. I don't know where that is now.
I think they changed the name at
But
some point.
I worked at Trump Castle, and I remember just watching people. I had never really been down there before, and I'm just watching these fucking old ladies from around the country come on buses. Like from the middle of Ohio or Kentucky, literally.
Yeah,
like you see a bus that says like Lexington, Kentucky. And they fuck. And these fucking old women come out of the bus, and they're they took a medical hit from the trip. Like you just see them, and they get out of these fucking buses they were in for hours, days.
yeah, blood just clotting in their legs.
Helping the 60-year-olds helping the 70-year-olds off the bus, and they go get shit rooms.
Yeah.
And then they pour buckets of fucking coins, all of their fucking retirement, all they got left. They just pour it in buckets into these machines. And then they leave. And then so I'm watching all this, and it's all says Trump all over it. And then I was in an elevator, and Trump got on with Marla Maples at the time.
Yeah, okay.
And everyone was like, oh, there they are. They were really excited. They saw them. Oh my God, there's Trump and the woman he's fucking illicitly. And they get on the elevator, and Trump looked miserable. I was in the elevator alone with him just by chance, and he just looked miserable. He looked so unhappy.
Yeah.
And all that money, I realized there's a weird, like, he has all this billions of dollars, but he's fucking miserable because he needs $100 billion to look in the mirror. and not want to kill himself. He needs that. These old ladies from Kentucky, they don't need anything. They have like maybe $1,000 in the bank.
Right.
It's like they're coming. It's like a religion. Like they're coming to help him feel better. Like they're coming to give him money.
Giving him the money.
He's like, I have $100 billion and I don't fuck everybody. It's not enough. And these old ladies are like, I have maybe 1,000. You can have all of it.
I'll give you all of it.
I'll take a bus all day to give it to you.
We could have pumped it into our own economy where we live.
Yeah, I could have given it to my neighbor's store that closed last week.
But I figured I'd come all this way just to dump it into
Hopefully
this
make
machine.
you a little happier.
Yeah.
That's classic.
With the only buffer being this vague hope that I might leave
that I
with
may be
more,
one
but,
of the trillions.
But it ain't gonna happen. So we'll just pour money out.
I want to know more about the family fish business. The little restaurant that was
poor
there.
guy.
Forget that.
With his little boat. He would
Maybe a
just
little
go
bait
out
shop
every day.
Bait shop on the pier.
No,
Oh,
he
bait
used
shop.
to wipe off the table when you walked in, and he'd feel
nice,
real proud.
right?
Yeah.
Nice.
You'd smell like the ocean air. It was open windows in the summer.
What was his last day like, you think?
Wrecking ball.
A bunch of suits and
wrecking ball
ties.
with the whole family just outside crying.
Yeah, and now in that exact same spot, it's ring, ding, 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 ding.
Oh God, that's all you did. It was Donald Trump and a bunch of other guys in suits with golden shovels taking that photo of them breaking ground, and in back is the boarded up fish place just ready to be plowed asunder.
That was there for 150 years.
You know, and it's not the fault of some corporations or Donald Trump. It's like Walmart kills all small town economies. But it's not Walmart's fault. It's the fault of the fucking people. I used to have a house in upstate New York, and there's a town that had all these beautiful old diners and general stores, and they all closed one by one because of Walmart. But it wasn't fucking Walmart's fault. It was the people that lived in that town that don't give a shit about their neighbors.
But is it giving a shit?
It's the American basic consumer who's like, well, okay, I could spend 13 cents less on a mop.
Yeah.
So fuck my fucking neighbor. Fuck my neighbor who's had that store in his family for, who's taken care. There's like a million George Bailey moments in that town's history where the whole, I'll give a check to your, baseball teams with names, John's General Store.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the whole community coming together to do stuff.
Yeah.
Fuck that. I want to buy a Jim Carrey movie 3-pack for $7. So fuck the old movie theater with a Wurlitzer organ.
But think of Blockbuster Video. Now that caused a big thing because it pretty much closed down all the little mom and pop video stores.
Which was a great family business.
Which was a family business and shit like that. I remember those things and having to go in and you'd have to buy a membership fee when you first get in. It was like $100,
and that was just to try to keep the store.
Yeah, to keep the store open. But then Blockbuster came around. Now, what do you want to do? Go into the mom and pop and wait a week for the latest release?
Yeah, why don't you? Why don't you fucking wait a little bit?
I want it now.
So fuck the family that opened that store. Yeah. And by the way, fuck them that they used to think about what movies you might like. That you might walk in and they go, Anthony, you like comedies.
Anthony, we got a whole section for you.
Do you even know
Remember
who
that conversation
Francois
we had?
Tati is? And they'd show you something that we went and found this. Blockbuster would never do that for you. Fuck them.
I agree with both of you, but
so that you can
the local,
save a little bit of fucking money.
The local place that Ant's talking about, you had to wait for some asshole to bring back the nice new movie.
It's out. You'd be like, it's out. It's like, what?
When is it coming back? I want to watch that fucking thing.
Again,
and then Blockbuster said,
the
fuck
ability.
That. The Blockbuster said, look, we could just put 100 copies on the shelf.
So you're thinking the whole loyalty thing should outweigh the convenience?
Absolutely, because you're supporting somebody who is, there's a human being and a family who's living off that business, and they give a shit about you.
But
by the way, where's Blockbuster? It's fucking gone. So they leave a vacuum.
You
can't rent a
delivery
fucking video anymore.
Yeah, but why would you? Digital delivery.
If there was video stores, you know why? It's like bookstores. A bookstore is not just a place where you can buy books. It's a place where somebody expresses themselves by deciding what books to put out there and what books they want to offer their community.
Right.
And that gets replaced by Barnes & Nobles, which means you get the same fucking books that every place in the world gets. I mean, not just America.
Right.
Every bookstore has exactly the same books now. I mean, that's people don't realize what a massive. It used to be. You go to that bookstore, you're going to get some weird off-color books of this kind, or you're going to get maybe a right-wing bookstore, a left-wing bookstore. That used to be how people fucking. And then so Barnes & Nobles comes, and the difference is a family business will hang on through the tough years if they have half a chance.
Yeah.
But a corporate business will go, oh, we're not making it $10 trillion. Just pull up stakes, and they're gone. Right. So now there's no more fucking bookstores.
That's fucking amazing.
Or video stores. Yeah.
No bookstores, no video stores.
Right. The big Barnes & Noble on the Upper West.
But because those are predatory businesses.
Given your thinking, though, wouldn't we never progress? Like,
who's progressing? That's the
I mean, with everything. Like, wouldn't we not look at the automotive business, which is horrible now, of course, because of the outsourcing and everything. But early on, there were guys working those lines. What about the technology to come in and use robots that did eliminate jobs, but it makes the car better and faster and
that's exactly the thing. These things like bookstores and video stores, though, they weren't improved. They were destroyed. And a book is not a car. It's not a product that needs to be perfected like a technology. It's about having a way of life.
But now you just download it on Kindle.
Yeah. No, exactly, but it's rubbed out getting out of your house and going to a bookstore, meeting the bookstore guy and other people. You used to get fucking laid by going to bookstores. A way that people used to get laid is by going to a bookstore and standing in a section that makes you look smart. And then a chick comes around.
Yeah.
Oh, do you also like this book?
Oh, sure. I'm perusing this.
Yeah, you can't do that anymore. When I grew up in Boston, and there was a place in Harvard Square called the Coffee Connection. And this was a place that was obsessed with coffee. And they had coffees from all around the world. And they'd have stuff like you'd get like a cappuccino, and they'd shave chocolate onto it, not like a canister of chocolate powder.
It took time. I mean,
they had a cheese grater and a block of chocolate, and they'd shred chocolate onto the fucking thing for you. That's like how good it was.
You sound like my grandfather. Grandfather talking to me. You don't even understand the old days.
And
I know the point he's about to make.
You'd go to the fucking Coffee Connection, and you'd sit there like trembling, and they'd bring you this thing that would just change your life. Or they'd go, hey, you want to try Turkish? We have a new Turkish coffee today. It's a weird thing.
That sounds good.
Never tried it. So then Starbucks opens down the street, but this Coffee Connection hangs on. So Starbucks opens another one, like on the other side of them. Starbucks isn't doing so great that they can open another one. They're just trying to fucking kill.
Oh, shit.
So they open like 5 within a block of the place until Coffee Connection goes, this is getting hard. And they sell themselves. They go, let's just be at Starbucks.
Yeah.
So then Starbucks buys them and then closes the other ones, and then you're just left with fucking just one choice. You get Starbucks.
And the quality of Starbucks is horrible.
It's okay. And the instant Starbucks isn't making a profit, they'll give up, and then there won't be a fucking place to even get coffee.
Right. Then we go back to having no coffee again.
No coffee.
He's right.
So
I remember the lumber stores. I remember we did a lot of renovation on our old house because we had 7 kids, small house, so we were constantly adding rooms and this and that.
Mom and Pop lumber shop.
Mom and Pop. I would get in the car with my dad. I remember like it was yesterday. We'd go to the local lumber guy. He knew my dad's first name. We got this for you. We made your pile. It's
putting
all
a dormer
set.
on the house, are you?
Yep.
Well, you're gonna need some of that. No, I'll come over here. I'll help you out. You need that for the joists.
But it was a social thing too, man. How are the kids and how are your kids?
Very social,
right? And then the Home Depot. It's a fucking massive warehouse, and no one wants to fucking help you.
You're just mad right when you walk in.
Sad people working there.
Right.
Yeah. The buying of the lumber is not a happy exchange. It used to be that you could say to yourself, you know what? If I invest in a good saw, and I get some trucks, I could go out and get some fucking poplar and cut it well, and people will come here and build fucking houses with it.
Yeah.
And you go, hey, you got some nice poplar, not as good as Joe Wilson's. Yeah, well, mine is down 3 cents.
Right.
Well, I'll buy yours then. This was like and by the way, we don't improve through this shit.
No.
We actually don't. It's like, it's what happens is the second place product always wins by being more vicious
to
like Microsoft versus Apple.
Right.
Microsoft is bullshit software. It's hard compared to Apple.
I know, believe me.
It's horrible, but Bill Gates is a capitalist, and he was vicious, and he fought Apple, and so for some years anyway.
Yeah.
America lived on shitty computer technology because of his
There was a point
ambition.
where we all thought Apple was gone.
Yeah, it's VHS versus Beta. Beta
Yep.
is still used today.
Yeah.
Beta videotape is still what most TV shows are shot on.
Yeah.
And we all watched VHS tapes because the VHS people said, we make the second best, so we're going to be cutthroat and fucked up and pay off people and go to litigation and like sue Beta. And Beta's like, we're making the best kind. We can't even get people to buy it.
Yeah.
And so everyone gets VHS.
Unbelievable.
It's Tesla and fucking Edison. It's
Edison
always
and Tesla, yeah.
One guy's a genius and is selling a beautiful thing. The second place guy copies it, doesn't do it as well,
and then
takes him to
fucks the
court
guy
in every
over.
fucking state in America and muscles him and fights him and
Ruins
outdraws
his
him.
credibility.
Gets some fucking Texan to pay for it. And then we all have to buy the shitty product.
You're fucking brilliant.
It's true.
So
It's
that-
the same with cars. They would be better if what you're saying was actually true.
If it was like the guys still on the assembly line.
yeah.
Your coffee story is deeply depressing.
It is. It's what happens everywhere.
I was thinking, as you were talking about that, like the Starbucks popping up are like weeds.
Yes.
Taking out the really nice fucking crop.
Yeah,
nice
that's
flowers.
what they do. They're only
just
interested
putting
in
weeds all over the place
right.
to destroy it.
That's right. And they don't even make money. Like Harvard Square is a good
I
example.
love Harvard Square. It's been a while, but
you won't
that
love it
place.
next time you go.
It's been years.
There used to be a place called the Tasty and like the Verst House, all these places that have been there from the 1900s. It's a Sunglass Hut and an Abercrombie and Fitch now.
Jesus.
And I was talking to one of the local business guys who owns a cigar store. He's like the last guy left.
Look at you.
No, I'm
talking
this
to
shit
the
fascinates
local
me.
businessman.
And I asked him, "Are you going to go under too?" And he said, you know what? Because he went to Harvard Business School and then he opened his little cigar
business.
store.
Oh God.
He said Abercrombie and Fitch and Harvard Square doesn't even make a profit. They lose money every day. They're not that store. The rent is so high for what they built there that they can't. If they could sell jeans all day, they're not going to make a profit. They're not there to make a profit. It's just a billboard. It's a 3D billboard. It's there so that you'll buy Abercrombie online and to keep it visible
in your mind, in your head. Yeah,
That's fascinating.
There's like the Nike store on 50th or what. All those stores, they don't make a fucking dime. They lose money every day.
It's worth having a giant
global
billboard. It's like a billboard.
Yeah.
That you walk into.
That's how far away this is from like
mom and
guy
pop
has
guy.
an idea,
Right.
Puts it out there.
I love this
Folks
description.
love it, and they start buying it. It's not even.
Wow.
We're not even close to that anymore.
No, like I'm nostalgic for the guy who started Wendy's. Like that's now like a great American. He's like a
The
revolutionary.
Great American Story,
Yeah.
or Ray Kroc from McDonald's.
Yeah, he's
having
like
the
Che
little-
Guevara or whatever his name is. Like he's like, a great man.
They're sort of making a comeback, but remember just the local burger joint was cool.
Are they making a comeback?
A little bit. You see more burger joints popping up. Maybe they were part of a whole corporate thing, but
Well, like in New
they're-
York, there's Five Guy Burgers here.
Right. But when we were growing up, every town had its local burger guy, and they bragged about their burger, and it was better
Yep.
than the guy's burger from the next town over. And you watch those slowly. The one in Huntington, the Choo Choo hamburger
right,
place.
right.
And their thing was, well, we'll bring your burger on a nice fucking train right
Yeah.
in front of you.
Right.
It's
Oh,
a
here
little
comes my
electric
order. You
train.
see it fucking rock in the restaurant.
Yeah.
And it comes around and stops at your,
Yeah.
your counter spot.
Well, that's what it
And that
used to be
thing-
like when things were more spread out. That everyone had to have their own idea of here's
Right.
here's why you
gimmick.
want to come here.
And then I think
Yeah.
Instead of like, if you come here, it doesn't matter because we're across the street too.
right.
Fuck you, just eat this shit. You think it's going to get better once these big companies take over? The product goes down.
What do you
they don't
think
have
about
to compete anymore?
like online purchasing? Then you must do a lot of that, though.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
No, I think that's probably the next version of it is that you can throw together a little product and sell it online
And just be the mom
'Cause
and
you don't-
pop online
Yeah, 'cause
thing.
you don't need a store anymore.
And then someone will figure out how to fuck that over.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah.
you can't
They'll push
because it's
you out.
not real estate. You can't take over. You can't push somebody off the internet.
Yeah.
They'll always be there.
That's true, but you can
No,
be the
they'll-
better online.
Yeah, they'll make
or
you-
the bigger and
They'll make you have the website with .org.
Yeah.
they'll give you
Just
a
make it
dot
harder to
something that
find,
no one
right.
does. But if you're
Right.
like a mom and
Dart.
pop thing and you're selling, let's say, electronics, you'd be like, oh, great, they don't have that. let me go to Best Buy's website.
Fucking
no, that's absolutely true. That's hard.
Yeah.
Hard to sell.
Yeah.
Just to add to the discussion, I used to be a big music store guy, and every music store was a little different. And this guy, if you got to know him, he's like, I got some fucking bootlegs you might want to see.
That's right.
And it's completely illegal,
well,
and we
that's-
know it, but I've
yeah.
seen you in this place enough times that I know you're not a rat, so why don't you follow me?
Well, that's
Remember
exactly
that shit?
it. Guys like Iggy Pop. Iggy Pop becoming popular was a good thing, I think, for America. It's a good thing for the American voice that guys like that would. But the reason he came up was because certain record stores would go, I'm fucking digging Iggy Pop, and I'm going to sort of take a gamble that my customers will like him.
Right.
So they'd order, like, give me 10 Iggy Pop, 12 inches, and they'd put them out there.
Right.
And the kid with the leather jacket, who the fuck is this guy?
Right.
Hey, try him out, kid. You, all right, old man, fuck you, And he'd try Iggy Pop, and he'd go, holy motherfucking shit. And all of a sudden,
great,
Iggy Pop is flying off the shelves.
When I was growing
But
up,
now, if you're not on fucking iTunes, like the whole country has to make one decision of who we like. There's no sort of local guy.
God, that's fucking.
That's a massive difference in how
Absolutely.
the culture grows.
I just loved when I was growing up. I would go to the Village and all those underground record stores. I would spend all afternoon there, and every place had something a little different.
So what is this
and
do?
bootleg like concert shirts and
Like, what's
you know
the
what it
bottom
does?
line of what this does to society?
No one even has. Even young people don't even consider the idea that it's a good idea to be out in the fringe, which is where good ideas come from.
Yeah.
Like people are almost like begging the government to take over and the corporations to take over your life. Like people are excited that when you take a picture of yourself on your phone and put it online, it says where the fuck you were. Why are people excited about that?
Yeah, what is that?
Like I remember when Easy Pass first happened.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, I don't want everybody
man.
knowing when I went to the Lincoln Tunnel. Like, what are you, fucking carrying secret documents? Who the fuck gives a shit about you? But people used to think that way.
Right.
Cameras in Central Park for crime? Yeah, but what about my privacy? But now people are like, guess what? If I take a picture and send it to somebody, the whole world knows exactly where I was.
Where I was at that
And
given
I can
moment.
store all of everything I have on a computer in North Carolina. And I don't even have to. And they get to have all my stuff. And Facebook knows who all my friends are and what I've said to all of them. Every single fucking conversation I've ever had is a public record in the fucking Library of Congress. Yay! Cool.
That is fucked up.
Isn't that cool?
And we worried about Easy Pass on mere 3
Yeah, I
years
know.
ago.
People are
3
excited.
years ago, right?
Everything you tell somebody, I think I might be pregnant. It's in the Library of Congress
Now it's
now.
forever.
Cool. And there's a fucking geotag on it saying where you were standing when you fucking said it. A fucking coordinate.
Yeah.
A global coordinate
Fucking
of where you were
latitude
standing.
and longitude.
Why do people? Why
Of
would
when
want
you
that?
said that,
But we
and
didn't
when
want to
you
use
took a picture.
But we didn't want
No.
to use Easy Pass 3 years
Yeah.
ago.
That is really
It's
fucked
sick.
up. It is
classic.
really fucked up.
You
when
have
think
to
of that.
belong to a fucking club to listen to a song. You have to have a credit card to like listen to a song. You can't go buy a record and play it. You have to, if you fucking lose your credibility and your iTunes account gets suspended, you can't play any of your music on anything.
You're done.
You can't listen now where it's on satellite radio. You have to subscribe
Yes.
to listen to the radio. Like the only way to listen to music without being a credible American citizen with a credit card at belonging to a corporation, the only way you can fucking whistle. That's about the only way.
That's how you're going to hear the song.
That's the
is
only-
whistling to yourself.
The only time you can, unless you want to join some.
Yeah, because there are a lot of the music stores don't even carry fucking. There's no music stores.
There's no music stores.
It's
You
like-
got to go to Best Buy.
And they got their
and-
CD section, which is
Sort of.
dying out. It's being pushed.
Yeah, and it's
pushed
just
away.
and it's just a reflection of what's on iTunes.
Yeah,
and
and
what's
you don't
on
have-
yeah. There's
Amazon.
nothing.
You don't have a
nothing
guy
new there.
taking care of that section, so it's all just kind of willy-nilly.
You're
It's
not
just-
finding something
depressing,
new
man.
and eclectic.
No.
The problem,
there, yeah.
and the problem is what Louis is getting at is with corporate America. Only a few of the people in corporate America actually make the money. Then
And
everyone
the
else is just
decision.
slaves to that
Yep.
fucking corporation.
And they're not even American. I mean, it's all
Right.
offshore. All the companies are unaccountable and they're offshore. And most of them are foreign owned anyway.
Yeah.
Go with
yeah.
the Tower Records. Each Tower Records probably was easily 10, mom and pop record stores.
Yep.
And those
Yeah.
guys were actually making a real living. And now, like you said about Atlantic City, Tower Records moves in, and now you used to make a living. Now you're just working for that schmuck.
Yep. And then
Making a
Tower
lot
Records
less.
is gone.
Tower's
So they
gone.
leave a vacuum. It's not
Right.
even this idea that everybody's like, yeah, but come on, but this is good for what?
The convenience is
it's
nice.
like
It's like a locust.
benefiting.
They just
Yes.
come in,
Right.
eat it all, and then they're gone, and
Right.
nothing's left.
And
Yeah,
Starbucks-
I know, but still, it's if we didn't do that,
Progress.
you wouldn't have the thing that
Wouldn't have the polio vaccine.
the cars run worse than they did in the 70s.
And I could go
You
back.
need a computer to fix one.
Yeah, you can't work on your car anymore.
No.
That's true too. You cannot pop the hood on your fucking car
no.
and work on it.
Fool around a little bit.
I remember
Yeah.
if your car stalled, you would ease over to the shoulder and you
Tinker.
lift the hood.
Yeah,
and
tinker.
you
Fuck
look.
around with it.
And
That's exactly
you'd be like, all right, I know enough about the distributor. I think this
Yeah.
is something. I think maybe.
See if that's tight.
Yeah, I think
Jiggle
that's my,
this a little
my
bit.
points. My
I'm gonna
points
jiggle
are
this
touching.
cord, right.
Yes.
I'm gonna gap it with a matchbook cover. That'll get me
actually
home.
do that.
That'll get me home. It'll run a little fucked up, but that'll get me home. Yeah, you
If
could
you knew
do
where the
that.
fuel pump was, you could jiggle it a little bit.
Yeah,
You could
give it a little
throttle.
knock.
Now-
If you cart it and start this, you hit the starter a little bit, and then boom, it'll
I had a
start up.
68 Mustang, and I used to fix it. I worked in a garage when I was younger, and I used to fix it. So I like the fuel pump would go, like the fuel pump that was in there since 1968 died in like 1993. And then I put in a new fuel pump, and
Yeah.
that fuel pump died in 1995. And I went through 3 fuel pumps on that car. Same every part of it.
Ah,
The
shit.
starter that this car was that was put in by some fucking heavy Michigan hands in 1968 when I was 1 year old. Some fucking guy with a cigarette dangling put that starter in.
Yeah.
And then went to a very beautiful home in Flint, Michigan, which is now
yes.
a fucking crack house. He's been dead for years.
His white picket fence. His
Yes.
wife was waiting for him to come home.
And then finally, that starter that he fucking personally tightened every part of finally just went, I can't do it anymore, and died in 1994.
yeah.
And then I took it out, and it was heavy, and it was beautiful. It was like a piece of art. And then I put it in with this. I put in this thing I got at a parts store, and I asked them. I said, "Give me the best starter that available." And they gave me this starter, and the metal it was made out of is some weird composite. You could see like Coke can pieces in it. And I put it didn't weigh anything, and I stuck it in, and it lasted like 6 months.
Yeah.
And it just bang, just came apart.
When you used to
That's
drop
progress.
the starter motor, it was like when you pulled those bolts out.
Yeah.
It was heavy.
Yep.
And then the new one, you're holding up with one arm as
Yeah.
you're threading the fucking bolt.
Look
Yeah.
at the
Nothing, you're right.
Look at the picture Danny just found. You can't work on that engine. You can't
That's
work
what you
on that
see now.
engine, right?
Yeah.
Just a big block with a logo on it.
Right.
That's it.
That's a Cadillac.
It
yeah.
looks
Powered
like
by Cadillac.
It looks like it just all melted together. You can't get at it.
It's
No,
all
you
just
can't.
cowling that they put on so you dare not even look
No.
and see what's under there. You can't work on it because it's all computerized.
Now, if your car
You
breaks
got to hook
down,
a computer up to it in a
Yeah.
corporate place.
if it breaks down, you're lucky enough to get out of your own car.
Yeah.
Might not
Exactly.
even
Won't
get
let
out
you
of
out.
it.
Right. You'd be lucky if you could at least leave the car.
Yeah.
I keep
Shit.
going back to the coffee thing because I was a big coffee guy as well.
Yeah.
And when Starbucks did hit, it made it convenient that there were more nice coffee places around because you really had to search them out like you're talking about.
Right.
And I didn't live anywhere near Harvard Square, so a Starbucks was like nice instead of shitty diner coffee.
Right.
But then Starbucks didn't care about their product in the end. At
No.
first, the coffee was amazing.
Yeah,
but you've
'cause they
watched
had
it
to
drop
compete.
over the years.
Yeah, they had to.
They had to compete.
Now you know the beans they're getting have to be just shitty.
Yeah, of course they are.
They have to be. There's
They're
just-
not going
there's
to
just
work
too many
hard for your money.
Why would they?
They've got
I
it.
explain
At
this
first,
shit
they
to my-
needed your money, so they worked hard for it.
Exactly. I explain this shit to my kids all the time because we'll go off the beaten path. We'll go 3 blocks over and spend 40 more cents. That what are we doing with this precious money? That people are like, well, I'm saving so that I can buy some fucking video game, have a video game experience for 10 seconds that evaporates from my existence later. What are we saving the money for? But we go a few blocks over, spend a few more cents to go to like a butcher.
Yeah.
Instead of going to,
that
Price Chopper, we go to a fucking New York City butcher.
yeah.
Where the guy's got a red face. How you doing, my man? And,
Fucking blood all over his fucking little
yeah.
apron that he's wearing.
Gets his steaks from a fucking place where there's like a direct line from the cow to the
slaughterhouse,
steak.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, instead of this fucking ShopRite, probably some human parts in the steak thing.
I was going to somebody go, oh, you want to get something for lunch? Let's go to like Subway or something. I'm like, why would you not just go to a deli and get a real sandwich made on a hero roll that was in a bakery that morning, and the driver took it over to
a place where they're not going to measure the meat.
No, I remember I was
a guy
all pre-cut,
where the local guy goes, "Oh,
Sucks.
Anthony, you've been a good customer. Here's a few extra slices." The Subway, they actually weigh their meat and their tomatoes to make sure it's the proper weight.
I was in a Subway once somewhere in Arizona. And I was driving across the country, and I stopped. And it was a Subway inside of a fucking Sunoco station. You know what I mean?
yeah. Oh,
and
boy.
there was the fucking kid working there. Was this depressed-looking kid that he cut his own hair like there was chunks. Cut his own hair. Skinny, fucking just depressed-looking, pale American. And the kid he's serving is this exact same person.
Oh, shit.
Like he's just different colored version. You know, like in Star Wars, there was R2-D2, but then there'd be like a red version of it.
Yes,
like
the red R2-D2.
Yeah. It's just kind of basic. And one guy, and he's going, "What kind of sauce do you want on?" And he's like, and like, I guess I'll go ahead and get the green one. And he's making it for him. And I wanted him to say, "Should I just eat it too? Does it even make a difference which one of us eats it?" Like everyone's just on one side of the counter or the other. There's no identity to any American.
Nothing.
The only identity you have is what your sauce choice is.
Yeah.
Like that's the only thing you get now is like, well, I particularly like.
You do make this grim kind of image of I don't see this going to a good place.
No, it's not, man.
No, it's not, man. No, it's not, man.
The only good thing that could happen is that it all falls.
That it just all collapses.
It all dies, and everyone has to look around them and go, "What could I piece together and sell
recycle
for my friends?"
A little bit, maybe
post-apocalyptic lifestyle
would be terrific.
We got a timing issue, so we're going to take a break because we got Rummy calling right at 8:30.
Oh boy,
what happened?
Just Rummy.
Donald Rumsfeld.
Can't wait.
His new book, Known and Unknown. Excuse me, a memoir. So
you think we'll know some of the unknown?
I ain't.
You think he's going to fess with the unknown?
I'm going to go ahead and tell those Opie and Anthony fellas stuff that I never told anyone.
There's the show I'm going to break all the news on.
More with Louis C.K.
Now's a good time as any to tell them that Gerald Ford is still alive. Why not? Why not these guys?
Why don't we ask him that weird shit then? See what he says.
But Roswell.
Louis killing this morning, and Louis C.K. is going to be at the Borgata April 23rd. For tickets, go to Borgata.com. BORGART. No, that's not it.
What?
They misspelled the website, right?
That's awesome.
Borgata.
There's no R in the end of Borgata, right?
Borgata.
Google it. No, it's BORGATA.com for tickets for Louis C.K.
If you have a computer to go online, right?
Right.
Just Google the fucking thing.
Borgata.
Like I never
Does
understand.
anybody need to know the website?
Spell it like really kind of anything you can't spell.
Even
just throw it in.
The browsers finally, you just put it in the URL.
Right.
Someone figured out these fucking people don't get it.
They said, "Hey, dummy, this is how it's really spelled."
Just write it with your finger on the screen. And
right. We'll figure it out.
I don't even use like dictionary.com or like Merriam-Webster. I'll just go to Google, type in the word that I know I'm misspelling, and it says, "Did you mean the correct spelling?"
Now you know the correct.
Now I know.
Yeah.
We don't
and you
need
don't
our
even need
brains
to know
anymore.
You can continue spelling it wrong after that.
You know, you used to have to go to a library and speak to the librarian about that.
That's right.
And she would direct you to a book. That's
right.
Libraries
you
used
out.
to be kind of cool too. Man.
Libraries.
In New York, it's
go to
very
that.
different. It's just that's where homeless people shit now.
Yes.
Library.
Oh, speaking of which, we got the bench story.
Oh, yes.
With the drugs and the sex.
One last thing. Encyclopedias. The house that had the encyclopedias, but then they would become dated so quickly that a few short years later, borders move and people take over power. And you just read these encyclopedias. But that was like your internet.
That
right. Was the only information you were able to get at the drop of a hat was in your encyclopedias in your house. You used to sit there and toil if you didn't know something and couldn't find it out in your house through some kind of book or newspaper.
By the way,
you didn't know it.
Where this stuff is good is things like the internet, because if you lived in, Oshkosh, Michigan or someplace, you weren't going to get a cool book. You weren't going to get Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore, and you weren't going to get an Iggy Pop album.
Right.
You were going to get a Pat Boone album and whatever, and Encyclopedia Britannica. That's it. You had to live on that.
Yeah.
But
now.
hey, you throw on a leather jacket and leave town. You fucking, what's your problem?
Yeah, get off
You
the
gonna stay in your
farm.
house?
Get off the farm.
Louis, just great social commentary today. Holy shit. You opened my eyes to a bunch of shit. Quick break. Donald Rumsfeld next. Stay there.